Okay, this is Boxing Bros UK, another undercard review from Undisputed Fury Usyk, and we're reviewing Agit Kabayel versus Frank Sanchez.
Yes,
okay,
indeed.
I'm Chris. This is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain. Let's go. Kick it off. I know you're liking this guy. I'm too.
Yes. I mean, I like you said something earlier, and I'm going to say it on this now that we're live because, funny enough, I said this to the future professional cruiserweight, Mr. Joshua Antonio, that I live with, that he's like a really good Derek Chisora, and I said the same thing as you. He's a better version, and no disrespect to Chisora, but you know, this is someone that if you're a casual fan, you'd look at. Maybe you don't know the rankings, and he's gone up in the rankings, and you'd kind of think, you know, he doesn't look $1 million. He doesn't look anything special. Doesn't have like an eye-catching style, but he has an effective style. He's not a huge personality, but he's effective. He's all business. He loves to fight. He's brilliant to the body. He's got some punishing body shots. And his last two fights, I mean, we were talking, or people in the business, as it were talking about Frank Sanchez as being the second bloody coming, you know, Cuban pedigree and all this. And he got absolutely smashed the other night by Kabayel. And I can't remember our prediction, Chris. I think...
No, you went Sanchez, I went Kabayel. I remember.
Did I go Sanchez? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was going for I think my head was going for the counter puncher. You know, Frank Sanchez is a counter puncher, and I think I maybe thought with the pressure Kabayel applies, he might catch him as a very good counter puncher. But you know, my man done it. Kabayel done it. He done the business. Broke him down, didn't he? Like cutting down an oak tree, wasn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, like the beautiful thing about Kabayel, because Frank Sanchez, he's got that Cuban style, brilliant. He's got the Cuban style, brilliant counter puncher, mover. Like he doesn't run. Like he's just got brilliant backward footwork and all that. But that Kabayel, like say, he was hitting him to the body, and he didn't like it. And he won't stop hitting him to the body, hitting him in the hips. Like he ground him down, and he can take a shot. And he can take a shot. So that Cuban style was a bit ineffective because he came in. See, this is what Joe Cordina was not doing. So when Kabayel come in with the high guard, he was moving and punching. He weren't putting the high guard up and then standing there and saying, "Right, you hit me, then I'm going to hit you." Yeah. He was coming in high guard, throwing body shots, throwing shots. Like it was punching with him, and he beat him to the punch every time. And then when Thingy was counter punching, because he was hurting him to the body, he was more worried about his body, so he wasn't really throwing any good offense or countering, because I think he was scared of what coming back when he felt some fierce body attack. And great performance by Kabayel. He just ground him down and steamrolled him. And do you know the thing that annoys me? Yeah. So you know, you say everyone thinks Frank Sanchez is a second coming and all that, and they're thinking too much of him. After Kabayel put that beat down on him and won it, one of the commentators or someone there, I can't remember who it was. Anyone in the comments, please help me. Some idiot goes, "Yeah, well, it looks like Sanchez definitely must be injured, or this won't be happening." I'm like, I'm paraphrasing, something along them lines. I'm like, can't you just give someone some credit?
I saw the same thing after Makhmudov, right, and some comments on videos I watched going, "Oh yeah, but Makhmudov weren't as good as we thought. Big stiff robot, you know, Poundland version of Klitschko, right? All this sort of stuff, right?" And you know, everyone was fucking scared of Makhmudov. They were like, "Oh no, he's like high risk, low reward. I don't fancy that."
Yeah,
right. Bit of a monster, scary looking motherfucker. And Kabayel went in there and took down he literally was an oak tree, Makhmudov, and Kabayel went in there like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and took that tree down, and then we wasn't getting the credit, and then he's still not getting the bloody credit from the Frank Sanchez.
Like I think everyone else gave him credit. I might have to watch it back because I want to know which idiot said that. But hey, like some boxing people are just the worst. Like you can't, they just can't give people credit. You know, when someone wins, they just can't. They can't just say, "Oh wow, brilliant performance." It's always, "But this happened." It's like, come on, give someone some fucking credit. They won. It's like too good W's.
It's like True Geordie and George Groves like hating Fury, innit? You know, they just clearly just dislike him. And it's just, we all have our favourites, we all have the people we don't like. But I think if you're going to be you know, on YouTube or, you know, try and be a little bit impartial. Maybe not, I don't know. But
yeah, that's it. So another great W for Kabayel. It's like Chisora 2.0
win. 24-0.
No, I said it's a Chisora 2.0 version. A 2.0 version of Chisora.
Yeah. But Chisora had lost a few fights. Yeah.
He's beat Chisora. He beat Chisora 8 years ago. He beat Chisora. His style is like Chisora. Like, yeah, his style's a bit like Chisora. Like, no special effects. Comes forward, applies the pressure, hits you where he can, doesn't stop, relentless, strong guy. Yeah. But the difference is he turns his punches over properly. Chisora slaps a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
he does.
He turns it over and he digs into the body. He lifts his elbow like he don't slap. Do you know what I mean? He digs into the body.
That right hand to the body that hurt Sanchez. Oh, mate. That was a hurtful shot, and that was it. That was it. Yeah. But it actually started out. It was a bit of a kind of. I was a bit concerned. I remember saying to Josh, I was like, "Oh, stylistically, this is all over the place." Like the first, I think 4 rounds, I was thinking stylistically, this is horrible. And then,
one guy who doesn't want to fight, and one guy who's trying to apply the pressure, and it was just a bit of a.
I've got to say this about Sanchez. I know he had that great win against, well, I say great win. I don't think he's aged so well now. He had that good win against Efe Ajagba, who seems to have become Casper the Ghost recently, didn't he? Like, he's with Michael Hunter, he's disappeared. Like, Frank Sanchez, like, he's not great to watch. I know he had a good knockout win against Junior Farr, but no disrespect to Junior Farr, but he's no world beater. I mean, Frank Sanchez he's not great to watch.
No,
he's difficult. He's a difficult watch.
He's really boring to watch, but he had the skills, but he didn't really have much power because Efe Ajagba never really. He's been overrated. He's just got that freakish, that 1-2 right hand like Wilder kind of power, but he can't really land it. He's just not really that good. And I think, you know, because they were like, oh, this is the new Luis Ortiz 2.0, what really good. and he had a couple of wins, but Junior Farr isn't very good. His fight against Parker, he just held and ran away all night, didn't do anything. Like this, it was really horrible. So it's not hard to.
He's one of those guys that I find quite infuriating to watch because he just. Yeah. It's just a really difficult style to watch. You know what he's going to do. He almost kind of skips away, doesn't he? Sort of skips away on the back foot, you know. And it's just
He just skipped away. Is that because I like the Cuban style, but when it's done well, you know, and sometimes the Cuban style is a bit boring because you got to mix it up a bit. You can't just only counter punch all the time. Do you know?
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to land them counter punches. Sometimes you got to change it up and take it to him. So anyway, what's next for Kabayel first?
Oh, well, so he's now
because he's Mando now. He's mandatory for one of Usyk's titles.
I think he's mandatory for the WBC because he was mandatory for Tyson Fury. I think leading into it, I'm pretty sure he was. I think it's for the WBC.
It was for WBA because when I looked at when I looked at his the rankings of the best, like all the best heavyweights, which Kabayel, well done to him. He is now 5th in the world. He's now 5th best in the world, and very well done to him. But, it says WBA Intercontinental, International, or whatever. So so he's mandatory. He's got his highest rankings in WBA, and I think he's mandatory.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were saying that mandatory for WBA.
I think where I was getting that from was maybe before. I saw an interview somewhere where they said he was leading into this fight. It was going to be mandatory for Tyson Fury, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that. I'll have to maybe double check that. But anyway, regardless, he
honestly, as much as I love him, I don't think he's going to beat Usyk, and I think he's young enough to let Usyk retire and then have his time. You know,
that's a good game to play, actually, quickly, kind of reeling off the kind of top heavyweights. I'll reel off some names and then you sort of see, does he beat Daniel Dubois?
Yes. But Daniel Dubois is fighting Hrgovic.
Yeah. So it's difficult for Hrgovic. I don't really... Thing is, with Hrgovic, he's still a little bit of... It sounds mad, but he's still a bit of an unknown quantity for me. Like, I don't really know what to make of him, right? So who else is up there? You know, I mean, Bacoli would be a good fight for Kabayel, potentially. It'd be a good fight for Bacoli as well.
That'll be a good, but Bacoli's got a fight up and coming.
Yeah, I saw your breaking news on that, and I also read up on it. He's got a top 10
this is what's clearing my head in. Like, who can he fight? Because so who else? Keep going.
Yeah, so who else we got kind of in that mix? Obviously, now he's beaten Frank Sanchez. Who else have you got in the mix in that kind of top? You know, do you see him beating sort of the what about the winner of Zhang and Wilder? You know, maybe something like that.
Yes. Do you know what? The winner of Zhang and Wilder, and I think absolutely it will smash both of them two. Too young, too relentless. He'd smash them both. Either one.
I'm going to have faith in my man now because I said he'd lose to Sanchez. I want to put my neck on the line and say that because I think that would be a really good matchup against Zhang and Wilder.
They're fighting either not so long ago. I mean, in the near distant future, they're going to be fighting. So that will be a good. Do you know what? That's that one fight. The winner of that definitely for Kabayel. Yeah. All of Matchroom and Queensbury. That fight can happen. No danger.
I think for the boxing purists like us, and I think that would be an enjoyable fight. I don't, you know, is it a pay-per-view? I don't know. But what about for Frank Sanchez now? Do you think Frank Sanchez has been exposed, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. Frank Sanchez, I just want to put this out there. You're not fooling anybody. You're about 50 years old, so just retire, not become a journeyman.
What is it with Cubans and forging their passports and bloody like ages? I don't know what's going on there. Luis Ortiz is about 61.
I think Father Time caught with Sanchez as well. Like his legs are like a little bit slow. His reflexes are a little bit slow. Everything was just all a bit, you know. And you're just not fooling anybody. Like retire or become a journeyman, fight fight Moses and two man, fight him. But they won't put him in with him next. Maybe
that's the next fight. We need to see because we'll mention Toma very briefly now, but I'd like to say there was hardly anything to comment on really. Like I'd like the guy he fought had lost to Tom Schwartz twice, which tells you everything you need to know. But he's only, I think it's his 9th professional fight. But in the next few fights, I'd like to see a Toma just maybe get a little bit of an extra challenge. Maybe Frank Sanchez. I don't know. You know, maybe. But yeah, I don't know where it really went. I don't know where Frank Sanchez.
Anyway,
really.
Let's conclude this. So. Kabayel, fight the winner of Wilder, Zhang. We'd love that fight if anyone's listening. All right, Boxing Bros UK, peace out. Subscribe.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.